Welcome to my personal nightmare.
I haven't been posting on this channel because truthfully, I've been too depressed.
I hate my life. I'm in so much pain.
It's a disaster. Disillusioned, disenchanted, disgusted.
I don't even know what am I doing here.
I can tell you exactly how you got here. As the longest running series regular on Coffeezilla and the only certified spiritual teacher in the Zillaverse, I'm going to tell you guys exactly why Steven is having this meltdown, what got him here, and how he can avoid this suffering in the future. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a very sad, very dire prediction about the future of Steven and Coffeezilla. Once you hear the prediction, it's going to hit you like a revelation. And you're going to say, how did I not see this coming? You know, it gives me no joy to bring you this prediction, but it channeled it from God, and God said you got to tell the people. So that's what we're going to do today. Just a quick warning, there's a couple of gotchas here, there's a couple of I told you so's here. But just so you know that there's no hard feelings, that we have love in our hearts here at Godzilla for Coffeezilla and what he's done for this channel. I'm going to promise you guys that if we hit 100,000 subs on this channel, I'm going to create a life-size digital monument in honor of Coffeezilla, and it will be placed right here in front of the $10 billion digital ashram. It will honor him, and it will be a beacon towards the righteousness of this man. I mean, you know, that is not in doubt. The righteousness of Steven is not in doubt here. I first started to notice this problem a few years ago when he put out this video about Logan Paul. Let's get into it, shall we?
Now they felt defeated. They felt tricked
Aww.
by the CryptoZoo team who had fed them promise after promise.
Aww.
And they were sick of it.
He was never in the chat or anything, never apologized or told us anything.
Things didn't work out. Things didn't work out. We all get that.
I love this
But
music.
to continuously lie, lead
Aw.
people on, hype
Oh.
people up, to put more money in,
Did
all
Wogan misread
the
you?
while in the background,
Not
things
Wogan.
are going down, things are hitting the fan,
Not
and
Wogan.
you've left us holding the bag.
I know it was my decision, and I did my research.
He did your research. Hey, he did his research. It's called CryptoZoo, and it was made by Logan Paul. Did you do your research? Or are you a greedy little pig? And that's the problem with this coddling that's happening here, is that these people got scammed because they were trying to make a quick buck. But Steven's playing this sad music over it. Right now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, how could you say this, Amish? You know, how could you? Some of these people have a wife and a kid. But, you know, that goes both ways, right? Like, if you have a wife and a kid and you invest in Logan Paul's CryptoZoo, you could treat that by saying, "Aw, you spent your money on the CryptoZoo by Logan Paul and you lost all your money." You could do that. But you could also say, "Hey, dumbass, you have a wife and a kid and you spent all your money on CryptoZoo by Logan Paul? Are you crazy?" Now, the reason it's okay for me to say this is because I got scammed too, okay? But I didn't act like a little crybaby about it. You know, the reason that I became a series regular on Coffeezilla is not because, like, I went to Trump University and then I went on his show and I said, "I am the child of immigrants, and my parents came to this country with their shirt on their back, and Donald Trump stole their money and left them with nothing." If I did that, you'd say, "Get this loser off the screen. Who cares?" Right? The reason why I became a series regular is because, you know, despite getting scammed here, and my parents were scammed so many times when I was a kid, but one of the things that I love about my daddy is that when he got scammed, he'd try to get the money back, but then at some point he'd say, "Got me." You know, and that is the only way to deal with this, to learn the lesson and to move on. These people wanted to make a quick buck. These people were being greedy little pigs. And as Kevin O'Leary says,
don't be a greedy pig.
You're being a pig and pigs get slaughtered. You can't coddle this, right? Why would someone like Steven, who has so much righteous indignation and anger towards this whole subject matter, why would he be coddling these people? Well, the answer to that comes in another video.
I didn't want to do this story. I said, look, we don't do politics on Coffeezilla, which is true. And we never will.
This is a scam channel. We can't cover politics, and we never will. It's kind of like that scene in Doctor Strangelove where these guys start fighting, and then the president of the United States in the movie, he goes, "Gentlemen, this is the war room. You can't fight in here." That's what this is. You know, one day Steven's going to be in front of Almighty God, and this is where God does write the best jokes, because God's going to say, "Stevie, baby. Stevie, baby. One of my favorite children, one of my most righteous children. I gave you a $10 million studio. I gave you the best music. I mean, this music is amazing. I gave you the best music, the best cinematography, the best suspenders, the best writing, and all you did was defend a bunch of green little pigs? I put you in Babylon, surrounded by the biggest sinners. The president of your country is a con artist.
I hate my life. I'm in so much pain.
It's a disaster.
Disillusioned, disenchanted, disgusted.
What's happening here is that he's starting to see that hypocrisy of like, I'm the guy that calls out scams, but I'm gonna ignore the biggest scam. People are in jail dying. People are getting bombed. Families are being ruined. And it's not because they tried to make a quick buck. Okay, enough of the moralizing. Let's get to the prediction. And this is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, so I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. And before I say it, everyone take a deep breath in and let it out, relax with a sigh. Logan Paul is going to be the president of the United States. I'm sorry, guys. And a lot of you guys are going to say, how could you say this? He's a monster. This is a terrible thing to say. Okay, let's do the math for a second. The current president, Donald Trump, has run some shady businesses, let's say, right? Logan Paul has also run some businesses that, in the Zillaverse, we have deemed to be a little shady, let's say. Donald Trump is a fighter. He likes to fight. He likes to get into lawsuits. Logie, I think, is taking Steven to court. Is that correct? I don't know. But, you know, he likes to sue. He's a fighter. He literally fights in the boxing ring. Donald Trump, you know, learned part of his media manipulation, how to control the masses on WWE. Logan Paul is a professional fighter in the WWE. Donald Trump had a hit TV show, The Apprentice. Logan just put out the trailer for his reality TV show, and it's on HBO, and it's probably going to be a hit. I mean, HBO doesn't miss, you're right? HBO doesn't miss. I know, it's terrible. And now the most important thing is they love each other. And Trump loves to surround himself with sycophants. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump was starting to get some health problems, if he reached out even to Logan Paul and said, hey, I think you should be the next president. I don't know. I don't know if he'd overstep J.D. Vance like that, but it actually does sound like something that Donnie would do. Okay, so where does it go from here? How do we conclude this video? Well, let's take it back to God. And let me tell you about a powerful spiritual theory created by the Hindus thousands of years ago called the Leela philosophy. And what Leela means is play. And the Hindus basically believe that this life is a play. And there are good guys and bad guys, there are heroes and villains. And Stephen has manifested himself as a hero in this play. And now God is looking down and saying, you know, you've manifested this $10 million studio and this large, abundant audience, but you're just going to defend these wannabe con artists. You're playing small. It's not enough for what you could do. And so now God, being the best personal trainer, is giving Stephen some real villains. Now, let me tell you about the Leela philosophy on villains. What they basically say, the way that the villains work in this play is that if it looks like the good guy can defeat them, it's a boring play. It's not going to be good. If it looks like they're 50-50, a little better, but not quite there. But if it looks like the villain's going to win, that the villain is so evil, like this guy's going to take over, that's when you got a hit. And that's when you get the hits. And so what God is doing, being the best personal trainer, is God's given Stephen some real psychopath villains. And God's saying, hey, you did a great job on Coffeezilla. You called out the scams. It's beautiful work. But you're not covering the real scams. So here's Donald Trump to give you a little training, to give you a little taste. to get into politics. And this was so difficult for Stephen that I think he made a separate channel called Voidzilla just to talk about politics, which is hilarious because Voidzilla, with zero production value, I feel like is kind of better than Coffeezilla, you know, with the high production value and the soundtrack and everything. I'm really enjoying Voidzilla because the things he's talking about there are more important. But Donald Trump is an aging villain. You know, the evil is there, but he's aging. He's on his way out. He's going to die. At some point, everyone's got to die. Or he's going to start losing his mind and people lose interest in him. But God's got another fresh, young villain waiting in the sidelines, and that is Logan Paul. And when Logan Paul becomes the president, he's not going to look at Stephen and say, well, he doesn't cover politics, so I'll just leave him alone now. No. These are vindictive people. And he's going to pull Stephen in to the political world. And all of the work that Stephen's been doing on these scams, doing the research for months, you know, trying to get them to pay back and getting sued. Now, in order to survive a Logan Paul presidency, he's going to have to take that effort and that thorough work that he's been doing on these little scams and put it to the thing that really matters, which is American politics. That's the biggest scam. Those are the biggest. These are scams that kill people, that put people in jail, that get, you know, democratically elected governments overthrown. He's gonna have to get in the game and make those contacts and get that legal fortitude in order to stand up to a Logan Paul presidency. So let me know in the comment section what you thought about my theory that Logan Paul is going to be the president. Did it hurt your feelings? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think, no, this could never happen? Let me know in the comment section. And remember that when we hit 100,000 subscribers, we are going to create a life-size digital monument of Coffeezilla that will be placed in the courtyard of our beautiful, beautiful $10 billion digital ashram right here. So make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let me know what you thought about this in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one. Love you.